Hi, dolphins. Welcome to today's pod talk. My name is Lisa Sewell, and I'm joined by Dr. Manijeh Motaghy. Dr. Motaghy graduated from CSUCI with a degree in psychology and went on to earn a doctorate in the psychology of management consulting. She is also an affiliate mindfulness teacher for UCLA's Mindfulness Awareness Research Center. Dr. Motaghy, thank you so much for joining us.
Yes, thank you so much. It's wonderful to be back talking and thinking and connecting with CI. Really my favorite school, actually. Yeah.
Oh, that makes me so happy to hear.
Yes, I had a really good time there. Yeah. It was
Thank
a while
you.
ago, but it was much smaller at the time, and it was very centered around students, and I think that it still
Yeah,
should be, and it still would be,
yeah,
just the mission of the school,
yeah.
student centered. Was I totally felt it and experienced it? Yeah, thank
Oh,
you.
thank you for sharing that. I'm so happy to hear it. I'd love to actually just kind of go back to your experience when you were a psychology student at Channel Islands. Can you tell us a little bit about, what your experience was like when you were in your classes? Did you know that you wanted to go on to get your doctorate and to become a mindfulness facilitator? Or did you kind of discover this over time? So can you just share a little bit about your path with us?
Yeah, thank you for asking about that. When I look around and see people, I've been teaching and training and coaching so many thousands of people in the past many years, and so there is not one straight path that everybody should follow or copy or do. And certainly my path was not straight at all. I had no clue that I would be doing what I'm doing right now at the time that I went to CI. I just was in a place in life at the time where I needed to understand what is going on with the mind, and
Mhm.
why do people think the way they do, and why do they say what they say, and why do they act the way they do. Because the circumstance at the time was a little chaotic in my married life and all that. And prior to that, I had got my AA in fashion design from FEDM,
Okay.
Fashion Institute of Design and Merchandise, and that was a prestigious degree to pursue.
Yeah.
But somehow, yeah, I really wanted to go into psychology, so I went to CI and got my major in psychology, and I really enjoyed it because the teachers at the time, I don't know how many of them are there, but they were all really fantastic. And my experience was really, really, it was like a safe haven for me,
Yeah.
to go to drive there. I had about an hour of drive time every time. So every time I would drive and pass those fields, strawberry fields and all the other fields, I would think that, oh, it felt like it's my mind, that the seeds are being planted and they're growing and they're giving fruits every season. I saw that.
That's a great
So
image that you're painting. I love it.
yeah, it was a so no, I didn't know I'm gonna be doing this. But then after that, I decided to go get my master's in therapy. And so when I was looking around for a school to go to, at the time I had young children, very young, like 3 and 4 and 5 years old kids, two of them. And so it was important that school be near home, and important that I could have that flexibility of driving home and not be far away. So my choices were not that many, but I went to a few schools, and one of them was Phillips Graduate Institute. And during the orientation, they talked about this major, or this field of organizational management, or organizational psychology at the
Mhm.
time. And I thought, what is this? you know
Yeah.
and so I became intrigued about it because I had been doing business with my ex-husband for many years, and I had a lot of experience in business and a lot of education that I randomly got myself, learned because I needed to. So when I looked into that and understood that you bring psychology to the world of the business, I thought, yeah, actually, I think I like to do that. It would incorporate, my other experiences, and also the idea of the 3,000 hours of therapy, like internship. You're like, I didn't want to. That was also like, okay, maybe I don't have to do it, in this field, which we did in a different way. We had to do field work, so it wasn't the same thing. But then that embarked me on taking that course, and then midway they came and said, we're making this a doctorate program. Do you want to continue or do you want to get your master's? And I thought, wow, so I'm here now. I might as well just continue, go for it. And which was really fantastic because when I graduated from that program, I felt very confident and competent about what I could do with corporations and organizations and all that. So that's how I got into that, field of graduate school. And then there's more to it about how I got into mindfulness. But maybe I let you have a chance to ask anything.
Well, that's what I wanted to shift to our conversation around, was talking about mindfulness, because that is your expertise area, and something that I know probably a lot of our viewers, our students and alumni might be curious about, because it is a buzzword that's used so frequently, and I think there might be maybe some confusion or misconceptions about what mindfulness is and how it's practiced. So I'd love to hear from you, how do you define mindfulness, and how do you see it being incorporated or utilized into people's lives?
Yeah, well, that's a really great question because a couple of things. Mindfulness in the movement that it's going, it's often presented as a stress reduction tool or mechanism, relieving symptoms of illnesses and reducing a lot of anxiety and making life easier, even more productive, more, engaged, more present, more attentive, which is really wonderful. And then often people hit a wall with it
Hmm.
because they're thinking that mindfulness is going to resolve everything. However, if mindfulness is, from my experience, perspective, and understanding, is that it's really a clean, clear mental space where you can see things as they are. And that's just the beginning of it.
Right.
When you actually see things as they are, then you realize, oh, me stressing over it or worrying about it, what use is there for that? What good will it do? And then you realize things come and go, things pass. And then you realize that, oh, there is something I need to do, but maybe I'm not very skilled at doing it. What do I need to do? What are my choices? What are my resources? So then that's just kind of like the beginning of you taking action towards how you can then shift and modify things in your life, because we can't just rely on living exactly the same way, making the same decisions, choices, and having the same paradigm perspective of life, and then come and sit and meditate. Come to your breath, feel your breath, be present, feel your body, feel your feelings, see your thoughts. And for the moment you become, peaceful and calm. And then you get up and go do the same thing.
Right. Right.
You see what I mean? So it's really very important for us to utilize this mindful awareness state of mind as we develop it, to see where in life is my life going well, is successful, is harmonious, it's not causing me stress and anxiety, causing a lot of failures and difficulties. Oh, perfect. Leave that alone. Where in my life is not going well? And
Mhm.
what is the cause of it? It's always about the causes and conditions. If because if we a lot of people, they think they don't like something, right? That's happening with relationship, with finances, with work, with whatever we have to do as human beings. They don't like it, and then complaining about it seems like a legitimate, reasonable thing to do. Just nag about it, complain about it, worry about it. These are what we do, and just thinking just because I don't like it, it should not be, and that's
Interesting.
enough.
Yeah.
If I don't like it enough, it will stop being that way. you know but then you need to go further into, okay, why, first of all, is this not liking just my preference that I don't like it, or is this really something that needs to be changed? Okay, then how do I change it? What do I do about it? And of course, different people, my experience shows, have different levels of development in their mind, and different levels of being able to change things. There is a really good book that I'm reading right now. It's called Immunity to Change. Huh.
Who is the
Immunity to change. Can you read that? I love it. It's
author?
almost
Yeah.
saying that you're resisting and not being able to, change is a bad thing. So there are different levels of people's ability to change. However, there is always some kind of improvement we can make,
Right.
some kind of improvement, even if it's small. And with mindfulness, the level of improvement is incremental, little by little by little by little by little by little, because mindfulness means really insight. Insight means something, you see something that you didn't see before. You realize something you didn't realize before, you know? And if we don't have insights, how are we going to realize something we didn't realize before? It's
Right.
just really the beginning of it. I mean, recently I'm kind of on a mission to bring awareness about mental hygiene. I call it mental hygiene.
Okay. I
You
like
know,
that. Mental
mental
health.
hygiene. That's what it is. It's not just sit and become peaceful. It's a cleansing of the junk in your perspective.
Mm,
The way you think about stuff leads to your unhappiness. That's a big thing about it. So cognitive behavioral therapy is very much in line. However, with mindfulness, um, you develop the skill to see it yourself, to understand your mind yourself, to see the causes of your dissatisfaction, even if the circumstances are not favorable. Like right now, everybody, can very much blame the COVID situation for their unhappiness,
right.
you know? But is it really true? How much of it is it due to that? What else can I do to modify my sense of happiness? Do I have to be in conflict with, or can I give it some room, allow for this thing that's happening right now to be here right now, and I do what I need to do to protect myself, to keep myself steady, happy, content. These are all skills. These
Yeah.
are all not, oh, you should be doing this. No, you need to learn how to do it. And so
Right.
with mindfulness, you have the space, it's a beginning space to learn how to live, you learn the art of living in
Art
that
of
state.
living. Yeah. So I mean, it really sounds the way you're describing it. It's a process. It's an ongoing journey. It's not something that can be mastered. It's something that really you are continuously growing and learning about
Yeah.
throughout your life.
A lot of people, I mean, I do private clients as well as students in classes. Many of my students or clients are therapists, are
Mhm.
psychologists, are coaches who coach other people how to live well and how to heal, right? And then yet they really need to, it's often people who are from the mental health field, they think they have mindfulness because they know about emotions, about the mind, about illnesses of the mind. But mindfulness is a very kind of a refined awareness of what are the components of your experience in the moment. This
Yes.
is a sound, this is an idea, this is a thought, this is a feeling, this is an emotion, this is me being moved and pulled towards doing something. This is, so being able to see all of that and then utilize it to reduce your sense of dissatisfaction and improve your sense of contentment, sense of, just contentment is really the best word with
I,
everything.
Yeah, I would love if you could walk us through an exercise to introduce people maybe who are beginners who have never been exposed to mindfulness before. This is the first time they might be, engaging in a mindfulness practice. Because what you're talking about is so true. I find that happening to myself constantly, where I'll be doing an activity and I'm on autopilot. I'm not paying attention. I might be in the shower and I'm thinking about 20 different things, and then I forget whether or not I shampooed my hair already. And there's so
Yes.
much of our lives that we're doing
Yes.
in this way that we're missing so much of the moment. And like you said, during COVID, I know there are a lot of challenges that people are facing right now. And I think being able to incorporate some sort of brief practice or exercise, like you are instructing your clients through, that might be helpful just to give them a little introduction. So do you have a
Yeah.
brief practice that people could start to incorporate maybe at home?
Absolutely. Yeah, perfect. So let me maybe distinguish something before I do that. So there is the mindfulness as a state of mind, the way we are experiencing in the present moment with openness, with sort of looking at things without opinion, but curious about it. And then there is the practice of mindfulness. So the practice of mindfulness can be done with, as if you're going to the gym for your body to
Okay.
strengthen your muscles. The meditation would be your mind, sort of a gym. To
Okay.
practice meditation will strengthen the skill, the muscles of your mindful awareness. And then some people call it a tool, mindfulness as a tool. It's important to understand that mindfulness is not a tool,
Okay.
because a tool, you put it down,
Mm,
right? When you take a screwdriver, you do what you need to do with it. You don't take it with you to the bathroom. You don't take it with you in your car and drive around with it. You don't take it to sleep. You set it down. Eventually, you put it down. You pick up a cup of, water. You drink it, you put it down. That's a tool. But with mindfulness, we don't want to put it down.
got it.
We don't want to look at it as a tool. We could look at it as a space within us where we can go there anytime we want to.
I love it.
That
So it's
would be
always
the best version, kind of equivalent to a tool, but not a tool.
right.
Because you don't want to set it down when you're driving. You want to still, like you said, we're on autopilot. Our brain is designed in a way that we have a learning mechanism, a memory mechanism, which is perfect. Everything we need to learn to do, we learn it. Our brain says, I got you, don't worry about it, puts it in your memory system. And every time you need to drive, you don't have to relearn how to drive. Thank you, fantastic. However, because we don't need to pay attention as a new task, we have attention at our disposal. What happens? We spend that attention in thinking about this and that and the other. And a lot of these thoughts, they just come up. We
Right.
think we are originating them. We're not originating them. They show up and we follow them. So, so that's I think important to know that this is not a tool to be set down. You
Right.
really want to develop it in a way that you can take it with you. And when you're off of it, that you have a way, like a map. How do I get back to the mindful place? It's like, oh, the practice that you do with meditation, it's like learning the navigation system where you can get back to that destination of
Right.
being present, mindful, aware, and at ease. Is that helpful to kind of tease it out like that a
Yeah.
little bit?
I love that. I love that description. And I think it's comforting to think of it as something that's always accessible. It's always available to us whenever we need it. It's something we can
Yes.
do.
And we just want to strengthen the muscle of getting to it. And
Mhm.
so that's why we practice, practice, practice in different ways. So one way is to sit and meditate. I have a bowl behind me that I will bring and show you. This is just a nice little bowl, came I think from the Himalayas. And
Beautiful.
yeah, so um, the meditation part of it, I'll guide you just maybe a couple of minutes so you can know what it means to be present, to be aware, to be here. So if you like, you can just sit upright, a little bit more upright than usual. Open your chest,
Okay.
drop your shoulders, and you can close your eyes. It would be useful. If you don't want to close your eyes, just look down dimly on the floor somewhere. But the first thing to do is just become aware that your eyes are closed. Just feel your eyelids touching. Then feel your body in space. And space around you, you can feel the sense of touch with your feet on the ground or in your shoes. Just notice your feet. Notice your legs touching the chair or wherever you're sitting on. And when I say notice, it's an experience, it's a physical experience. Feel that. And just be aware of the balance of your body, the way you're sitting. See if you have more weight, let's say, on one hip than the other. See if you can balance it. Make a micro movement to adjust. And then notice if your upper body is a little bit forward, maybe, or too backward. Maybe you can bring it upright in a 90-degree with your hips as you're sitting. These are just little bits of being aware, being present. And your hands, feel the sense of touch. Let's take a deep breath. Relax, release. Now your attention is maybe just a fragment of it here with this experience, and some of it maybe in some thoughts or images passing through your mind. It's okay. It's not a problem. Just having a more sense of presence in this body. This body is actually the truthful indication of the present moment. Everything in your mind is made up, it's fabricated, comes and goes. But you can rely on senses in your body to tell you you are here in this present moment. So let's take a deep breath, gently release. Now let your attention fall from the head, your forehead, into the eyes. Feel your eyelids eyeballs. And then drop attention down into the nostrils, as if there was a little pebble attached to your attention with a string. Just gently dropping it. Feel the breath in your nostrils, breathing in and out. Let's just feel 3 breaths moving in through your nostrils and out. Let your attention drop further down into the chest. Just feeling that gentle rhythm of rising, falling. See if any part of your body is tense, you can relax as you feel the breath. Relax your shoulders. Let's feel 3 breaths as you experience the chest rising and falling. Now let's let that pebble drop into the belly, taking your attention lower within, just feeling that gentle movement in the abdomen. 3 breaths. If you find your attention caught up in the head, you can follow that string down into the eyes, below the eyelids, inside the nostrils, gently, slowly down into the chest, into the abdomen. But your attention encompasses the whole body. You experience the physical body, the movements of the breath, just calming the mind, looking for that empty space that could naturally show up. So I wanted it to be just long enough, not too long. Hopefully that was, how was it?
That was wonderful. I feel very, very calm.
Yeah. Yeah, so this can be done within like one few seconds even, just sitting, just noticing what's inside, what is the body, what is the mind, and letting go, whatever it is, you let go and just sit for a few seconds even. So your students or even alumni, whoever, especially people, going through school and trying to make all of it work, working and home and relationships. I mean, I've been there. And so having this tool of stopping, taking a breath. You've heard about when somebody gets upset, you say, stop, stop, come on, take a breath, stop, take a breath. And it may not really work as well because they may be caught up in their ideas and thoughts. Like they may even get upset, like, no, I don't want to stop, I don't want to take a breath, I want to. But because it's a half formula. A full formula is to stop, take a breath, observe what's inside, what's outside, what's happening, and then P, proceed. So it's the acronym of stop. S for stop. Whatever you're doing, it could be just mentally stop or physically stop. You, T for take a breath. And then observe is important. If you don't observe, then you can't change and shift, the angst or whatever that's going on. So you observe your inner experience. I'm rushing, I'm anxious, I need to hustle, sometimes, we have to hustle, and it's not like, okay, da, 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 da. No, I need to get to the airport. They're leaving without me, right? So, but from your inner experience, you stop, you pause, you observe, and you breathe out. And P, to proceed with, I would say, kindness, like a shift of attitude if it's necessary, because it could be very helpful. If you just proceed with the same attitude, it may not be as useful, So this could be used for if you're trying to go into an office, you're late and you're opening the door to get in and you're about to say, I'm so sorry, I'm late. Okay, you stop, take a breath, just observe what's going on. Okay, I'm okay, everything is okay. You open the door with calmness. And so you don't have to spend another 10 minutes. You've been late. Now you spend 10 minutes explaining why you've been late. Do I care? People may not care.
Right.
So there are many, many ways that you can actually do this practice while you eat, while you talk, while you listen, while you're walking, while you're sitting, while you're showering, anything you do. So it's not separate. Meditation can be done. We want to incorporate the idea of the practice with our daily, with ourselves, wherever we go. It's like a secret of yours. You can come to your center, feel your breath, and then that gives you an opportunity to listen better and to give, respond appropriately to whatever is going on.
Exactly. Well, the last question I wanted to ask you is, I know you are writing a book on mindfulness, so I
Ah, yeah.
wanted to make sure we had a chance to talk about that. So can you tell us a little bit about your book?
Yes, thank you for asking. Well, it's been a long time. I've been writing a lot and just piling things up, never thinking about writing a book. But I thought that right now it's useful for me to formulate the way I see mindfulness and the applications of it to be much more useful and in depth. And so the book I'm writing, I'm calling it Mindfulness Evolved, and it's evolved not from the original practice of it. The original practice was offered by a master, by the Buddha. I cannot improve that, but evolved in the sense of the way it's been presented or the way it can be applied, and with the subtitle of optimizing human software. I believe, from all of my knowledge, experience, reading, training, practices, all of that, that we from the get-go as human beings, we design our own sort of manual for our software, for our being software, because we don't come with a manual. Nobody really knows exactly what is the best way to operate. We have clues as human beings. We've done them this way, done them that way. There are people who are very good at it, but a lot of people are not good at it. There was not a manual handed to every mother, every family, or every parent to say this is how you do it. And so from the get-go, we learn, we put together information from wherever we get, as a baby, as an infant, right? The feelings, the brain, the perceptions we have from outside, the things we are taught, concepts that we are taught. Concepts are so important. I tell for example, my sister has a 4-year-old, and I remind her that she's learning how to be a human, and she's learning the concepts of life. So be careful what concepts you're teaching her, you know. So we internally design our own software, and we then have the manual for it, and we operate it, and we believe this is the best way, even when it's not working. So I've devised two models which I'm presenting in this book. One is the model of kind of being stuck, the manual that gets us to be stuck in life and feeling failed. It has 5 stages. And then the model of optimized, which is using, of course, mindful awareness and all the wisdom practices and psychological theories and concepts and other ways that, because I have experienced it, you know, I come from that lower model to the optimized model. My life right now is so harmonious. It's like a puzzle that I created for my life, and all the pieces of the puzzles are cut out, carved out in a way that they can naturally fall in. And if whatever else needs to fall into this puzzle, it's malleable, it's flexible, it can fit itself into this.
Yes.
Can you see that visual?
Yes, I love that
Just
description.
came to me. So we are, you know, sometimes it's just the puzzle is so strict. We can't fit something out. It's missing something. You can't fit another part to it because it's so rigid and so strict. So with this book, I'm trying to um, help people understand what's going on and how can we optimize. We transform, and the next level is optimize, and it's a cycle. It's a cycle of knowledge and awareness and um, development and transformation and then optimization. So it's a 5-stage, both methodology and stages of optimization that I'm offering in this book. So I'm working on it. I'm very excited about it. I write every day. So hopefully soon it will come out and you'll see
This
it.
is very exciting. Please keep us posted. And I'm happy when I share this video out to make sure to include your website and resources. So if anybody who's watching wants to continue learning more about mindfulness and following you and your practices, I'll make sure that they have that information available.
Thank you. That's great. I'd be happy to be,
Well,
yeah.
thank you so much, Dr. Motaghy. This was wonderful for me. I really enjoyed it. And I know that this information will be really helpful to our viewers. So thank you. Thank you very
So
much.
did I. I appreciate you reaching out and connecting me back with my beloved CI. Yes, I appreciate that. Thank you
Thank
so much.
you.
Have a wonderful day. And please, people can use my videos and YouTube channel and anything they need. And there are courses going on right now. People can, and especially because we're on Zoom these days, like this Sunday, actually, I'm starting a very quick, short course for beginners, mindfulness for beginners, Sunday at, I believe, 10 a.m. It's only 1 hour, 4 sessions. I'm going to cover so much in that, you know, in that course. And so if people are interested, they can still register for it.
That's wonderful. Thank you. I'll make sure to get that information from you and share that with everybody so they can sign up if they
Or
want.
maybe by the time they see this video, that would be past. But
Hopefully we
but
can
but,
get
but
about
there are
quickly.
future classes that I teach for UCLA and also advanced classes that I teach and do one-on-one coaching, and I do also training for corporations. So in any way I can be of service, I'm happy to be.
Thank you so much, Dr.
You're
Motaghy.
welcome.
It was great.
My
It was a
pleasure.
pleasure speaking with you.